Hello everyone and welcome to the next tutorial here on Ducttapestuff. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to make a nifty little money clip, so that's what we're going to be doing in this video. The first step you're going to do is cut out 4 strips of tape that are 3 1/4 inches long each, and you'll notice that 3 1/4 inches long is just slightly smaller than the length of a credit card here, and that's exactly what you want. There's just a little bit of room over here, and that's exactly what the length that you're going to cut out your strips to. You're going to take your first 2 and you're going to stick them together just like this. Take your other 2, put them aside here for just a second. You're going to line up so that these 2 strips that you stuck together are just slightly higher than the credit card over here. And you're going to take your third strip and you're going to apply it on top of your overlap so that there's just about the same amount of room down here as up here. So that's looking pretty good right about there. So make sure it's lined up, and then just stick it down. So your credit card should be able to fit right on there with just a little. It's going to pop off the side here just a little bit. That's exactly what you want. So flip the whole thing over. You're going to take your last 3 1/4 inch strip and you're going to cover up the rest of the sticky side right down here and stick that down. So there you go. That's your first step. Your second step is that you're going to make an exact duplicate of the piece that you just made. So you're going to cut out 4 more 3 1/4 inch strips, and then you're going to apply them in the same way I just showed you, so that you have 2 identical pieces. Now you're going to make sure you do any trimming if you need to, just to make sure they are exactly identical, and then we'll move on to step number 3. Step number 3 is to just make sure they're identical like this. Align them any way you want, and then lay them down directly on top of each other. You're going to take 1 more 3 1/4 inch strip, put it on the side here, half of it on the top piece, half of it on the surface you're working on. Flip it over, make sure it's still lined up, and you're going to fold it back around and stick it down just like this. So that connects one side. Then you're going to take another 3 1/4 inch strip, come over to the other side here, and do the exact same thing. Half it on the top sheet here, half it on the surface that you're working on. Make sure that it's lined up on this side, fold it back over, and stick it down. So now you've got the sides all stuck together. Then you're going to take your last piece, and this one is it's a little more than 2 1/4 inches long, and it's just it's the same length as the one on the bottom here on that piece. So half of it on this piece, fold it back around, and stick the rest of it down. So that's half of your money clip here, and this is the pouch for where your credit cards will go into. And you can fit a decent amount of credit cards in there. So you can fit 1, probably fit at least 4, maybe 5 in there. So that's where all your credit cards go. And that's half of it. Now we're going to show you on where to put your money in this money clip. Okay, so my next step is what I'm going to do is cut out pieces of duct tape so that they go across here, and those will be the strips that hold the money on the outside of this money clip. So what I did is I took 2 pieces of tape, stuck them together, made them a little bit longer than the length of the money clip here. And basically what I'm doing is I'm going to line up this side on the bottom here. I'm going to mark it there so that I can take my scissors and cut out where that line is there, so that it's lined up there. And I overcompensated a little bit. Put that over there. So that's lined up. Now next thing I'm going to do is mark here on the side, so that there's a decent strip there. Now I'm going to take my scissors again, come over this side, and cut this strip out. And try to make it as even as possible. Let's see here. I'm going to line that up right about there in the middle, a little bit higher than the middle, I guess. So that's pretty good. Then I'm going to come over here with the remaining strip I have. I'm going to line up so that's with the bottom. I can trim a little bit off here. So yeah, that's looking pretty good. And then I'll cut pretty much the exact same diameter strip for that. So this is just extra there. So then I have it right there. And since if I line up a little bit more, it's not really going to stick down too well, so I'm going to trim a little bit off. So you're going to line that up on top. That's exactly what it's going to look like. So you're going to line that up there. You're going to take a little piece of tape that is the same width as the thing here, as the strip. You're going to stick it down to one side, stick it around the back just like that. Take this side over here, stick it down on this, go around, and then you got this piece here. You can attach it to the actual strip here on the top. So that comes down. Make it a little bit more even there. It's a little bit better. Actually, no, it's not quite even there. There we go. And then a little more trimming is needed, so I'll just trim that piece off. And then I'll stick this piece down right there. Now if the strips aren't lined up, you can just trim them to make sure that they're good. So there's the money clip part of this money clip. Alright, so this is basically how this money clip works. You take all your credit cards, you slide them in just like that. The more credit cards you have, the tighter it's going to stay in there and the less likely it's going to fall out. So you got those sticking up right there. Then you take your money, you fold it into quarter pieces, and then that's going to slide right there, and that's going to hold your money in. And the more money you have in there, the tighter it's going to hold it, so the less likely it's going to fall out. But as you can see, I mean, it doesn't really fall out at all, so I mean, you really won't have too much trouble with that. So that's how to make a duct tape money clip, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and hopefully next tutorial, in about 3 weeks from now, I'm going to be making a duct tape backpack. So stay tuned, take care.